3.2 major project 7, keep on moving. What I decided to do for project 7 was actually start making my final pieces. I consider that I'd done enough work in project 6 with interrogation boards, lots of ideas, refinement and development through drawing with illustration, working out some ideas for torsos and arms. And really, I think by project 6 I knew where I am going, and so project 7 really has focused on the making of these pieces. The blog page, probably comparison with the other blog pages, is just a little bit more simpler. I've added a few videos in on the making of the samples, and also as well this reflective video will go on the blog page. I've still used Padlet. I still think that this is a strong platform for me. Visually it allows me to see my work develop, and also the detailed areas that could be with the research you could be making, with the sketchbook and so forth. So I think that it's a very useful tool to have connected to the blog page, so it gives the audience, or specifically my tutor, can kind of glide through. I use the timeline as a form of presentation for this. But unfortunately they've changed the format, so now it's not so visual as you embed it, as it used to be before. You now have to click on the link. It still operates the same. I can still attach Padlet to the blog page and then keep adding and adding. I did have to check on this at first, but it does continuously keep updated, so that's a bonus. So the videos really kind of discuss the how I've narrowed down with the colour palette, the use of particularly Aran yarn, and the colour of the grey is specifically making reference to a grey school jumper, and then obviously the red line for dyslexia. Thinking ahead a little bit more, I've kind of started to engage also with making the final pieces, feeling a little bit more exhibition, the delivery of the work. It could be a portfolio, it could be discussion to an audience, but as of yet I think I'm going to do an intimate exhibition. I still quite like the idea of converting the garage, painting out the walls and the floor and so forth, and having family and friends come look at the work to see, so that they can see what I've been up to over the duration of the past 9 years and the conclusions of my work. I don't particularly discuss the work. I kind of float in and out, but nobody has actually ever live evidence of seeing the work with samples or sketchbooks. So that would be quite nice to have that. I've been very disappointed with the communication with the Carpet Museum. That was my first choice, but they've still not responded, so I didn't further investigate any of that. There was the library, but I think it's going to be too open to the public, and I feel because I'm at work full time, the work doesn't have the protection, and then other choices financially are too expensive. You're looking at something like £500 for a week to display the work. So I just kind of thought as well, having it here at home, they can be my rules, my contract, and I think also as well, which would be quite nice to attach to the final kind of page, blog page for the exhibition. I could possibly do a display of the early work, which was more playful. Obviously this collection in project 7 is very narrowed down with its colour palette and so forth, so we can actually see decisions being made by myself which I'm not particularly good at in my work, but I think the use of interrogation boards has made me make decisions and throw out areas of work. So I think it will be quite nice for me to have full control. Also as well, I think what would be quite nice is just to step out of the textile work and maybe just, you know, demonstrate some photographs and so forth of the process of actually making the room an exhibition space. So I'm quite looking forward to that. And I think also as well what will be quite useful are things to sort of like the business aspect of looking at the costings of materials for that, paint and so forth. So I think that that's kind of quite nice to have, or be in control of that as an artist. So that is where I'm moving forward. At the moment, the pieces that I've kind of displayed on the blog, things like the sleeves and the torsos, these are interchangeable. That's pretty successful, but the making is still undergoing, and also as well through research I downscaled and made some more smaller bespoke pieces. These were attached to back braces and harnesses, which the development filtered through from research with armour. I began to look at fencing gear. So the harnesses and the back braces made a connection there. But the one thing that I do like about these back harnesses and back braces, the attachment is quite strong. So I think from a performance point of view, they are going to be strong and durable, and allow movement and dance without necessarily damaging the made pieces. They will be able to semi-move as well with the body, so that will be for a further investigation into another project, possibly project 9. But all of the exhibition and the ideas of performing, as of yet I've always possibly attached the sample or the piece to myself. I think it's now for me to step away from that and become the artist on the outside, and look in as an audience member at the work. I've got a few people in mind that will work with me in collaboration. I've also been working in collaboration with a graphic designer. He's going to put me a poster together for my final exhibition. So I've been thinking about titles and so forth. We will have further communication with the sort of thing that I would like. It's just going to be quite simple, really. A title with some images, and then obviously my practitioner's statement. So it's all kind of floating around, and I've been able to dip in and dip out, but my major concern at this point was to start to put together the final collection, because I think it's quite nice to actually see something come alive rather than pieces just become a sample in a sketchbook. And it will be nice at the group tutorial to deliver this again, so that tutors and other members, peers, students and so forth can get to see the work, and then it will be all finalised when everything is concluded at my exhibition. I think I would like to as well other mechanisms of delivering the work. I'd like to put a portfolio together of photographs. I still think the visual aspect of my work is very important, and I think that this would be quite nice for an interview process. That way I can talk about it. It will be quite nice to find somebody as a model that will be able to perform with the pieces. I think I'm still in kind of not sure about, it would be nice to have a group of people to wear the 4 pieces, but as of yet, further research has yet to open this up. I am going to be able to contact Kidderminster College. They have a arts and performance department. I've been looking at possibly hiring out a dance studio. So it's all there in the planning. I think even if nothing comes of it, it will be still quite nice to demonstrate that I furthered the research into these lines of inquiry. But I think my next stage will be when the making is finalised. There's only a few bits to make, some armoured shoulders, and a few attachments onto the torsos. But my plan is with my model is to take the work back to the playground and do a photo shoot there, which is one of the original ideas from where the work originated from. And hopefully this will then be the starting point for the further lines of inquiry into performance, and then for the biggie, the exhibition. And so there's still a lot to do, but I'm looking forward to it.